If you've got dry, flaky skin that just won't quit no matter how much moisturizer you slather on, the problem might not be your cream. It might be what you're using underneath it. I'm Julian Thorne, and today we're settling the debate between two heavy-hitter hydrators, Korean Snail Mucin and hyaluronic acid.
You're listening to Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Quick heads up before we dive in. Everything you're about to hear, the research, the data, the script, is written and verified by actual humans, but the voice you're hearing is AI generated. Just want to be upfront about that. If you've been listening for a while, I can't thank you enough for being here. And if you're new, welcome. Really glad you decided to hit play. We release new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, always focused on what works without the luxury price tag. All right, here's what we're unpacking today. For severe dehydration and compromised barriers, Snail Mucin edges ahead, but the answer shifts based on your skin's damage profile and humectant sensitivity. This comparison dissects formulation chemistry, molecular behavior, and price-per-ounce economics to help you choose the hydrator that matches your skin's actual needs, not the ingredient's marketing mystique. The texture of snail secretion filtrate feels almost sentient against parched skin, viscous, slightly tacky, cooling without the slip of silicones. You'll notice the difference immediately if you've only ever used hyaluronic acid serums. This is denser, more occlusively nurturing. But does that sensory richness translate to superior hydration metrics? The debate between Snail Mucin versus hyaluronic acid centers on mechanism, molecular weight distribution, and whether your barrier needs humectancy or bioactive repair signaling. We'll examine concentration thresholds, manufacturing origins, finish characteristics, and the practical economics of each ingredient class. You'll walk away knowing which performs better for your specific dehydration pattern. Let me give you a quick snapshot of how these two stack up. Snail Mucin works primarily through bioactive repair plus light humectancy, while hyaluronic acid is a pure humectant that binds water. Snail Mucin contains allantoin, glycoproteins, glycolic acid, elastin, and antimicrobial peptides. Hyaluronic acid comes in multiple molecular weights, typically ranging from 5 kilodaltons to 2,000 kilodaltons. The ideal concentration for Snail Mucin is 90% or higher filtrate in K-beauty formulas, while hyaluronic acid works best at 0.5 to 2% total across the weight spectrum. Texture-wise, Snail Mucin feels like a gel cream that's tacky as it absorbs, with a slight residue, whereas hyaluronic acid ranges from watery to gel, and the finish varies by molecular weight. Snail Mucin accelerates lipid synthesis and cell turnover, actually impacting your barrier. Hyaluronic acid provides surface hydration, but no intrinsic repair signaling. Snail Mucin is best for compromised barriers, acne scarring, and inflammation-prone skin. Hyaluronic acid shines for pure dehydration without barrier damage. Price-wise, Snail Mucin from brands like CosRx and Mizon usually runs $8 to $18 per ounce, while hyaluronic acid from The Ordinary or the Inky list costs around $4 to $15 per ounce. Manufacturing quality matters differently for each. South Korean filtration processes are the gold standard for Snail Mucin, while molecular weight blending matters more than origin for hyaluronic acid. Now let's talk about mechanism and how each ingredient hydrates skin differently.
The Snail Mucin versus hyaluronic acid conversation begins at the cellular level. Hyaluronic acid is a glycosaminoglycan that binds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Check the link below to see the current price. It's a humectant, period. Its job is to pull moisture from the environment or from deeper skin layers and hold it in the stratum corneum. Multi-molecular weight formulas are critical. Low-weight HA, that's 5 to 50 kilodaltons, penetrates to plump from within, while high-weight HA, 1,000 kilodaltons and up, creates a breathable film that prevents transepidermal water loss. The chemistry is elegant, but inert. HA doesn't communicate with keratinocytes or fibroblasts. It doesn't signal repair cascades. It hydrates, and that's the entirety of its function. Snail secretion filtrate, technically Cornu aspersum Muller glycoconjugates, is a bioactive cocktail that hydrates as a secondary benefit. The primary payload includes allantoin, which stimulates keratinocyte proliferation, glycoproteins for extracellular matrix scaffolding, naturally occurring glycolic acid for gentle exfoliation and penetration enhancement, copper peptides, and antimicrobial peptides that modulate inflammation. Studies show snail mucin increases epidermal growth factor receptor expression and accelerates wound closure rates in vitro. You'll feel this difference texturally. Hyaluronic acid serums sink in quickly or sit on the surface depending on molecular weight ratios. Snail mucin has a characteristic tackiness that dissipates slowly. That's the glycoproteins forming temporary occlusion while bioactives penetrate. The finish is more protective, almost balm-like on severely dehydrated skin. For pure hydration without barrier compromise, hyaluronic acid is cleaner and faster. For dehydration compounded by redness, texture irregularity, or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, snail mucin addresses multiple pathologies simultaneously. Moving on to concentration standards and formulation quality. Most K-Beauty snail mucin essences contain 90 to 96% snail secretion filtrate. CosRx Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence is the benchmark. Check the link below to see the current price. It's 96% filtrate concentration, manufactured in South Korea, where Cornu aspersum farming and filtration methods are rigorously standardized. You're paying around 65 cents per milliliter. Mizon all-in-one snail repair cream drops to 92%, but includes added ceramides and peptides for barrier support, at around 45 cents per milliliter. Check the link below to see the current price. The filtration process matters enormously. Korean manufacturers use low-temperature enzyme-assisted extraction to preserve bioactive proteins, leaving you with glorified glycerin and a snail-derived marketing claim.
Hyaluronic acid efficacy hinges on molecular weight distribution, not concentration. A 2% total HA serum is functionally useless if it's all high molecular weight polymers that sit on the surface. The ordinary hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5 includes sodium hyaluronate, which is low molecular weight, HA cross-polymer, which is medium molecular weight, and sodium acetylated hyaluronate, a next-gen low molecular weight with enhanced penetration. Check the link below to see the current price. That's around 27 cents per milliliter for a genuinely multi-weight formula. The Inky List hyaluronic acid offers 2% HA at 3 molecular weights for around 34 cents per milliliter. Check the link below to see the current price. Premium snail mucin products rarely justify their price premiums. Estee Lauder's snail-derived formulations cost 8 to 12 times per ounce compared to COSRX, with no meaningful concentration or purity difference. Conversely, budget hyaluronic acid from The Ordinary matches or exceeds luxury molecular weight complexity at a fraction of the cost. The tactile experience differs starkly. Snail mucin applies thicker, requires more padding to absorb fully, and leaves a slightly sticky protective layer for 5 to 10 minutes post-application. High molecular weight HA serums can feel similarly tacky, but without the glycoprotein richness. Low molecular weight HA formulas absorb almost instantly with no residue, ideal for layering but offering less immediate surface protection. Let's dig into skin type suitability and performance profiles. Oily, acne-prone skin with dehydration benefits more from hyaluronic acid. The lightweight, non-occlusive hydration won't exacerbate congestion. Multi-weight formulas plump without adding richness. Snail mucin's glycoproteins can be slightly comedogenic for pore-prone individuals. Not universally, but the risk exists. The allantoin content helps with post-acne marks, but if active breakouts are present, the occlusive quality may trap bacteria. Dry, compromised, or eczema-prone skin responds dramatically to Snail Mucin. The bioactive repair signaling accelerates barrier restoration in ways pure humectants can't replicate. You'll see reduced flaking, faster resolution of micro tears, and improved tolerance for other actives within 7 to 10 days. The naturally occurring glycolic acid, typically 0.1 to 0.3% in filtrate, provides gentle exfoliation without the irritation threshold of standalone acids. Dehydrated, oily skin exists in a strange liminal space. If your sebum production is compensatory, overproducing oil because the barrier is compromised, Snail Mucin addresses root pathology better than hyaluronic acid alone. If you're genuinely oily with intact barrier function and just need hydration, HA is sufficient and more elegant.
Mature skin sees compounding benefits from Snail Mucin beyond hydration. The copper peptides and growth factor receptor stimulation support collagen density. Small clinical trials show consistent Snail Mucin use at 90% or higher concentration improves elasticity markers after 8 to 12 weeks. Hyaluronic acid plumps fine lines temporarily through hydration, but offers no intrinsic anti-aging signaling. For comprehensive age management on a budget, consider layering both. HA first for immediate plumping, then Snail Mucin for bioactive support. Sensitive skin reacts unpredictably to both. Hyaluronic acid is generally inert, but lower quality formulations may include irritating preservatives or fragrance. Snail Mucin's peptide content can occasionally trigger histamine responses in highly reactive individuals. Patch testing is non-negotiable for both ingredient classes. Now, finish, layering compatibility, and routine integration. The finish difference between Snail Mucin versus hyaluronic acid determines morning versus evening suitability. Hyaluronic acid serums dry down matte to semi-matte depending on molecular weight ratios, making them invisible under makeup. They layer seamlessly with vitamin C, niacinamide, peptides, and retinoids. The only real incompatibility is applying HA in extremely low humidity environments without an occlusive layer. It can paradoxically draw water from skin rather than the atmosphere, worsening dehydration. This is basic humectant chemistry, but frequently overlooked. Snail Mucin maintains a slight dewy finish even after full absorption. For dry skin seeking radiance, this is ideal. For oily skin or those layering makeup, it requires patience and possibly a mattifying step afterward. The glycoprotein residue can cause pilling if you apply too much product too quickly or layer incompatible silicone formulations on top. Snail Mucin plays well with most actives, but should be applied before oils and after water-based actives. The traditional Korean skincare sequence places it after toner and essence, before emulsion and cream. Hyaluronic acid works best on damp skin. The moisture provides the water molecules for HA to bind. Mist lightly before application, then seal with an occlusive. Both ingredients are pH neutral and safe to combine in the same routine. A strategic pairing for severe dehydration, apply low molecular weight HA serum on damp skin, follow with Snail Mucin essence, then seal with a ceramide-rich moisturizer. This triple-layer approach, humectant, bioactive, occlusive, addresses dehydration from multiple angles. The economics remain accessible. You're looking at around $20 to $35 for all three products from budget K-beauty or Western indie brands.
For morning routines, hyaluronic acid's invisible finish makes it more practical under SPF and makeup. Snail Mucin shines at night when repair processes dominate and texture doesn't matter. Split your hydration strategy by time of day if both ingredients appeal. Let's talk price per performance economics and accessibility. The most cost-effective Snail Mucin is CosRx Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence, 100 milliliters for around $13 to $15, delivering 96% filtrate concentration at around 13 to 15 cents per milliliter. That's 3 to 4 months of daily use. Mizon Snail Repair Intensive Ampule offers 80% filtrate with added peptides for around $12 for 30 milliliters, about 40 cents per milliliter. A smaller size but enhanced bioactive profile. For hyaluronic acid, the Ordinary's 2% plus B5 formula is unbeatable value. 30 milliliters for around $8, about 27 cents per milliliter, with genuinely sophisticated molecular weight distribution. The Inky List matches performance for slightly more. Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hyaluronic Acid Serum offers 1.7 ounces for around $18. Drugstore accessibility with decent, though not disclosed, molecular weight blending, working out to around 36 cents per milliliter. Luxury Snail Mucin, Solwasu, SK2's Patera derivatives, Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair rarely justifies the markup. You're paying for packaging, retail overhead, and brand equity, not superior filtration or concentration. The one exception? If a high-end formula combines Snail Mucin with complementary bioactives like growth factors or exosomes at therapeutic concentrations, the premium may be defensible. But pure Snail Mucin products, K-Beauty budget options are chemically identical. So who should choose Snail Mucin? You need Snail Mucin if your dehydration coexists with barrier compromise, inflammation, or textural irregularity. Post-acne scarring, rosacea-prone skin, eczema flare recovery, post-procedure healing. These conditions benefit from Snail Mucin's bioactive repair signaling beyond simple hydration. Choose Snail Mucin if you have dry to normal skin that tolerates richer textures and you want anti-aging benefits alongside hydration. The glycoproteins and peptides provide scaffolding support that pure humectants lack. You're willing to wait 5 to 10 minutes for full absorption and don't mind a slightly tacky intermediate stage. Select Snail Mucin if you prefer nighttime-focused routines where texture and finish are irrelevant. The restorative benefits peak during sleep when cellular repair dominates. And who should choose hyaluronic acid?
Hyaluronic acid is your hydrator if you have oily or combination skin with intact barrier function. You need lightweight, layerable hydration that doesn't interfere with makeup or sunscreen. The matte to satin finish keeps you shine-free while plumping dehydration lines. Choose HA if you're building a minimalist routine with few actives. It layers invisibly under retinoids, vitamin C, niacinamide, and peptides without textural conflict. You value fast absorption and no waiting time between steps. Select hyaluronic acid if you're sensitive to proteins or have histamine reactivity. The glycosaminoglycan structure is generally inert and well tolerated. Budget considerations also favor HA. The Ordinary's formulations deliver pharmaceutical-grade multi-weight HA for less than $10, making it the most economically accessible serious hydrator available. Let me answer a few questions that come up all the time. Can I use Snail Mucin and hyaluronic acid together in the same routine? Yes, and this combination is synergistic for severe dehydration. Apply hyaluronic acid on damp skin first to bind water molecules, then layer Snail Mucin for bioactive repair and light occlusion. The humectant function of HA complements the glycoprotein barrier support of Snail Mucin without interference. Use HA morning and night, reserving Snail Mucin for evening if the finish feels too dewy under makeup, or apply both twice daily if your skin tolerates richness well. Does Snail Mucin work better than hyaluronic acid for anti-aging? Snail Mucin provides more comprehensive anti-aging benefits than hyaluronic acid because it contains growth factor-adjacent peptides, copper compounds, and allantoin that stimulate collagen synthesis and cellular turnover, while hyaluronic acid only offers temporary plumping through hydration without intrinsic cell signaling properties.
For mature skin prioritizing firmness and elasticity alongside hydration, Snail Mucin delivers better long-term results, though both ingredients can coexist in an effective anti-aging regimen when properly layered. Is Snail Mucin or hyaluronic acid better for acne-prone skin? Hyaluronic acid is generally safer for active acne because it provides non-occlusive hydration that won't trap bacteria or exacerbate congestion, whereas Snail Mucin's glycoprotein content can be mildly comedogenic for pore-prone individuals despite its allantoin and antimicrobial peptides offering benefits for post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. If you have dehydrated acne-prone skin with a compromised barrier from overexfoliation or harsh treatments, Snail Mucin may still be appropriate in limited application, but pure hydration without barrier damage responds better to multi-weight hyaluronic acid formulations. Here's the bottom line.
The Snail Mucin versus hyaluronic acid decision ultimately maps to your skin's damage profile. Hyaluronic acid hydrates cleanly and invisibly. Choose it for pure dehydration with intact barrier function, oily skin, or minimalist routines. Snail Mucin repairs while hydrating. Reach for it when inflammation, texture issues, or barrier compromise accompany dryness. Neither ingredient is universally superior. Context determines winner. For most budget-conscious routines, the sweet spot is both. The ordinary hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5 for morning layering under SPF, around $8. COSRX Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence for evening repair, around $13 to $15. That's around $21 to $23 for a two-pronged hydration strategy covering mechanical water binding and bioactive restoration. You're addressing dehydration from complementary mechanisms without redundancy or wasted budget. The texture of each becomes intuitive with use. You'll know within 3 days whether your skin craves the lightweight swell of hyaluronic acid or the protective embrace of snail secretion filtrate. Listen to that tactile feedback. Your barrier knows what it needs better than any comparison chart ever will.
That wraps up this episode of Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Thanks for spending this time with me. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always something fresh coming your way. If you found this episode helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a 5-star rating and write a quick review. It really does make a difference. It helps other people who are searching for no BS beauty advice actually find the show. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe or follow so you get notified the second a new episode goes live. Catch you next time.